Speaking outside court, the second in command in charge of crime detection says he's being called to appear before the Ad-hoc Committee in Parliament next week.
As I indicated earlier to you, that I've been restricted to really comment, especially based on the fact that I'll be attending, presenting before the Ad-hoc Committee as well as the Commission. At this point in time, I'm not prepared to really go out of my way and make any comments to the media pending my presentation before the Ad-hoc Committee as well as the Commission.
However, some political parties say they don't know anything about it. But the SABC understands that the chair of the committee has written to Sibiya to consult with the committee's lawyers.
The committee together agreed just over 2 weeks ago that the very first person that would appear before the committee is General Mkhwanazi. So General Sibiya saying that he's been summoned, according to us, is incorrect unless there's something blatantly wrong with internal communication in Parliament.
We never discussed that as yet. We are only meeting on Friday. But I'm not surprised because a lot has happened here. The minister wanted to interfere, with the Commission of Inquiry, the Judicial Commission of Inquiry as well. And the president as well was upbeat about it. They want to get themselves on operational matters. Now we are having a chairperson here who's not discussing these matters with us.
First and foremost, there has been no conclusive agreement on the terms of reference in terms of a final draft presented to the committee. There's been no conclusive agreement amongst members of the Ad-hoc Committee as to who's going to constitute the witness list and how they're going to appear and in what order they're going to appear. First and foremost as well, there has been no agreement as to who will appear first, and certainly it would not have been that it will be Shadrack Sibiya, because the first person who is supposed to appear before the committee is Lieutenant General Nhlanhla Mkhwanazi.
Meanwhile, in court, General Sibiya, through his legal representative, disputes allegations that he interfered with the work of the political killings task team. He argues that the KZN Police Commissioner Mkhwanazi initially refused that the 121 dockets be sent to KZN. He says he was instructed by Police Commissioner Fani Masemola to send the dockets.
He says he gives at 32.1 the generic denial, and on the specific question he says, when an information note was asking for financial assistance for the investigation costs, I made it clear that the dockets should be returned to the stations of origin. So what that means for the stations of origin is that it must go back to KZN. And so General Mkhwanazi in the replying affidavit says, I admit the allegation. Sorry, General Sibiya in the replying affidavit says, I admit the allegation. This is at 004-55. He says, I admit the allegations in this paragraph. I have explained that Lieutenant General Mkhwanazi refused to allow the dockets back into KZN. The National Commissioner does not dispute this fact. And he doesn't, because what he says is, the National Commissioner says at 003-43, I gave the instruction that they go back to the station of origin, and Sibiya in the founding affidavit and the replying affidavit tells you that's what I tried to do, but Mkhwanazi prevented that from happening.
The authority bestowed upon Masemola to direct Sibiya to stay at home was also questioned.
The correct starting point is what is the source of the authority for any suspension decision to be taken. And if we can demonstrate that there is no source of authority to take any disciplinary action in the manner in which it has been taken against Lieutenant General Sibiya, that there may be some merit to the allegations or no merit to the allegations doesn't in actual fact arise, because what Justice Mkhwanazi correctly says, with all due respect, Justice Mkhwanazi, is that you need to start with the source of the power.
Masemola argued that Sibiya was not placed on suspension. Instead, he was told to stay at home to allow investigations to unfold, further adding that if he was suspended, he would not have received any form of remuneration.
Normal employment, just staying home. He's not being punished. This is not a punishment that was. This is not a. It was merely to take him away. There's a good reason for that. In the light of these serious allegations, take him out of his post to allow a transparent and accountable investigation.
Judgment in the urgent application launched by the Deputy National Police Commissioner, Lieutenant General Shadrack Sibiya, to return to work has been reserved. For SABC News, I'm Natasha Piri in Pretoria.